lead, go get it vetoed. Please close your beak foes, the least grows. Take it from me, thieves chose to try to decode. Reload the beat so I can reach each soul. No cease, no finito, release. Go! I am the chosen and everyone is beholding. My energy is golden cause the million is being broken from enemies in the open opposing. I'm never joking, the remedy being spoken. I'm hoping that you're soaking it up. I'm in the motion of dope and I'm never choking. My devotion to floating like an ocean. The holy ghost and I'm scoping the evil broken. Provoking the wicked notion of croaking. I'm really floating and quoting that I'm closing it up. Talking behind my back, end up with niners that see me and say. Kinda whack, you cannot find that. I hit you with a rhyme attack, really is great. I'ma beat you cause I'm greedy and slay. If you creepy and cray, I'ma eat you like PB and J. Kiwi and grapes, I'ma demolish them in the TB and play. Pray. I started recording. And my number 3 Jordans, dungaree sporting. The tongue of me is gonna be scorching. The punishing hunter eat like a hungry orphan. T9 and NF are elephants in the room without a closet for skeletons. Quit embellishing. A demon from hell is yelling. When down in your element.
Look what I done. Ay, helping them people I love. My life is not what it was. No, I do whatever I must. Kinda wanna hit away trust. Kinda wanna hit away trust. Yeah.
And hard. Time.
Kinda wanna hit away trust. Look what I done. Helping them people I love. My life is not what it was. I do whatever I must. Kinda wanna hit away trust. Kinda wanna hit away trust. Kinda wanna hit away trust. Kinda wanna hit away trust.
Excuse me for a minute. I've got a song to sing. It might not be on key, but it's from my heart. No one else can tell what the Lord has done for me. This might take all day, so I better start right now. And it might get loud. It might get loud. Heaven's coming down, down, down. And it might get loud. Somebody say it might get loud. Heaven's coming down, down, down. And it might get loud. Oh, I don't got a halo. No, I'm not a perfect man. I'm just glad to be a child of God.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing tonight? Our new series is called Suffering, and so the whole thing is fighting the struggle. And so we're gonna start out with a sumo fight. So get up, let's make our way over there. I'm gonna choose 2 names. And our first matchup, we have Jackson Token and Jonas Arnhart. Jackson and Jonas, make your way over to Rob. Jonas, the Machine versus Jackson, the Cardinal. Jonas weighing in at 165 pounds. Just got out of his wrestling season, so he might be a lightweight. And Jackson Token weighing in at 121 pounds. Make your way to the ring. Oh, let's get ready to rumble! Fighters ready! Fight! Jonas coming in strong, making his way towards Tolkien, and finish him! Jonas Barnhart with the win! Our next fighters! Everett Flowers and Allison Martin. Allison Martin and Everett Flowers. Jonas, make your way up here. Everett and Allison.
How am I supposed to know?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Everett Flowers. All right. Everett, the Lumberjack versus Allison Martin. Everett weighing in at 2 tons and 5 pounds versus Allison weighing in at all right. Are the fighters ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Slowly they're making their way towards each other. And Allison taking down quick. Finish him. And now. And now, our championship round. Jonas Barnhart versus Everett the Lumberjack Forrest. Jonas is dialed in from his CTC class this morning. He rebuilt 3 cars in 3 hours. Everett is already locked in. Jonas making his way into the suit. Jonas still feeling a bit weak after wrestling season just wrapped up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's hear it for Everett! Let's hear it for Jonas the Machine Barnhart! Gloves, we need gloves ASAP. Give it a hand for Austin Graham reffing this fight. Fighters ready, and fight! Coming in strong, Everett, but Jonas wrapping himself around him, bringing him down, keeping him in the ring, brings him down, finish him! Oh! Jonas Barnhart, make your way on stage and get your prize. Everyone, back to your seats.
Give him a second to get back.
Hello? Okay, I think it's on.
Hey guys, welcome to Exodus XL. We are so glad you guys are here and excited for the night. We are going to have lots of more sumo fights during worship and then afterwards. So we are going to continue that, some other games, just a night of fun with a short teaching and time of worship. But first, before we continue with the rest of the night, Kendall has some reminders.
Okay, so a few reminders. When the wrestling is going on, you guys are welcome to go over there. But while there's teaching going on, just make sure you're staying in your seat. And also, let's make sure that our hands and feet stay to ourselves and that we're staying in our own chairs. And then also, if you need to go to the restroom, you can don't take someone with you, sorry. Just go by yourself and you'll be fine.
Okay, so tonight we are kicking off a new series as we talk about suffering and just how we battle different things. So that's why we are having lots of sumo fights, and we are going to go ahead and head into another round.
Everyone get back up and make your way to the sumo ring. Our first fight of round 2 is Marcus versus Jack Jetski Johnson. Make your way into the ring, gentlemen. Let's hurry it up, Jet. Come on, Jetski. Jack Jetski weighing in at a solid 56 pounds is your Blue Springs native. And Marcus towering over Jack Johnson weighing in at 137 pounds. It's your Green Valley native. Jack prepping up for track season, maybe a little light, but Marcus in the football program is big and tough all year round. Gentlemen, are you ready? Fight! Jack towering over Marcus. If he can get up, it's still on. They have to be flat on the ground. Spin move by Jack. Marcus still up. Jack just making circles around Marcus. And he's flat. Oh! Finish him. Our next matchup is Quentin Epping versus Chet Hart.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
Make your way to the ring. Quentin Epping is up. Quentin. Jet Parks. Jet Parks just got out of baseball training last night. He is fired up. Quentin Epping is always fired up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Round of applause for Jet Parks. And give it up for Quentin Epping. All right. Gentlemen, are you ready? And fight! And Jet is taken down 3 seconds in. And now, the championship round. Quentin Epping versus Jack jet ski Johnson! Jack showed his confidence last round, making circles around Marcus. Can Quentin make his way up towards Jack and defeat the jet ski?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Gentlemen, are you ready? Fight! Jack running circles. It's that track season. Oh! Get up, Quentin! Get up! Towering over him. This matchup looks done. And finish him! And taken down by the jet ski! All right, that is it for this round. Everyone, back to your seats. Jack, make your way up and get your prize.
Hey, after the refuel one, are we doing another one?
Yeah. So it's refuel stuff.
And Winter Jam.
Winter Jam.
9 people.
And then go back and do, let's do hand number like for refuel.
And then,
You gotta be like, hey guys, get signed up.
okay. Are they playing a video? Okay. We are just going to talk about a real quick reminder of refuel, so everyone pay attention to the screens and watch this video. Okay, we are so excited for Refuel coming up on March 3rd through 6th, and so we just want to remind everyone to make sure you are getting signed up and inviting your friends. If you are a regular attender here, it'll be $55, and then if you invite a friend, it'll be $25. And there is going to be a QR code that they are going to put up. So everyone, get out your phone right now, scan that QR code, and go ahead and send it to all your friends to make sure that you are inviting them. And then also this Friday is Winter Jam. So this Friday's Winter Jam. If you're already signed up, great. But if you have not signed up yet, we can only take 9 more people in our cars. So make sure you sign up on the paper outside of service. If you come, it's $10 to get in the door. So you need $10 in cash. We are not paying for you. You need $10 in cash, no card. And we are leaving church at 4:30. So be here a little bit before that. If your whole family wants to go, you guys are welcome to come meet at church and follow us, and we will all park together. But otherwise, we can only take 9 more students, so make sure you're signing up on the paper after service. Going back to Refuel, we are going to play a quick game that we love to play around retreat times. We are going to play a game of and, or like. So how this works is I'm going to ask each person a question. Like, I'm going to pick 2 people. Each person's going to get a question, and we're going to see how long you can talk without saying and, or like. Kendall, can you come be a timer for us? Our reigning champion, Will, is not here tonight, so his spot is going to be taken. So we need 2 people who think they can talk for a long time without saying and, or like. Macias and Jenny. Okay, audience, if you hear either one of them say the words and, or like, you need to yell so that we make sure to stop their timer. You guys can't talk like robots, and you can't repeat like also. So you can't say also a bunch of times. You have to figure out new words to say, okay? Macias, do you want to go first? Okay, why should people be inviting friends to Refuel?
Because it is so fun. Also very enjoyable. I found it very great because I had my friends there and we...
He made it 19 seconds. Jenny, can you last longer than that? What are you looking forward to about attending Refuel?
Having a lot of fun and friends.
Macias, you are the new reigning champ. You can grab a prize off of that table. Way to go. We are going to head into another round of sumo wrestling.
Make your way over to the ring. Our first matchup is 6th graders, Lauren and Kennedy Catlin. This sumo match is brought to you by Refuel Weekend and Winter Jam 2022. Make your way over to the ring, ladies. We need Lauren. That was not my fault. Kennedy, the cat, Catlin, and Lauren. Okay, Chef Sean. Chef Sean giving me tips. Like I said, this fight is brought to you by Refuel Weekend. Sign up if you haven't already. The ladies making their way to the ring, finishing up. Give a shout out to William Shapiro.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to...
Ladies, are you ready? And fight. And taking down seconds. Lauren is the winner. And our next two fighters is Zoe McVeigh and Chloe. Are you in 6th grade? It is you. Lauren, make your way to the stage. This fight is sponsored by Puns with Will. Brought to you Sunday mornings at 10:30. Please be there. Another sponsor of this fight is GB Marching Eagles. They are selling candy bars for $1 at the high school. Making donations for their Hawaii trip. Not their Hawaii trip. Making their way in the suit. They are fired up and locked in for this fight. And now, let's give them a round of applause and let's get fired up for this matchup. Ladies, are you ready? And fight! They are digging in. Uh-oh. Finish him! And she's taken down. Zoe Zoe dressed our championship round. Lauren versus Zoe McVeigh. Make your way to the ring for this championship round of round 3. This fight is brought to you by Refuge Coffee. Providing all your coffee needs for the morning across the pond. Some great blends coming from the UK. Refuge Coffee. And now, ladies, are you ready? And fight! Shake it down!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Lauren is the winner! Everyone back to your seats.
Go ahead and grab your seats, everybody, but you're not going to sit down for very long. We will have more time afterwards for anybody that just wants to battle up against their friends. You'll still have some time. We do have some small prizes. Macias, you picked the bag of Takis when you could have taken the giant box of Takis right there. You could have fed all your friends, man. Hey, so We'll have some time afterwards, guys. We are going to have kind of a short intro here in a little bit of what our series is about. But right now we're going to continue on with some worship. So that same energy, if you guys are over there cheering on to watch your friends destroy each other, let's use that same energy in a positive way to worship God tonight. So I want you to get up on your feet. I want you to fill up all this space in here. I want you to put your hands together. This is the time. If you want to stand on your seat, you can stand on your seat. Put your hands together. Let's see some clapping. All right, let's have an amazing night tonight.
Sing with me. I believe that the future is brighter.
a seat. Hey, that was about as good as I've heard you guys worship in a long time. Give a big hand to our worship team, everybody. Give them a big hand. It was awesome seeing all of those faces up there tonight. So, there we go. What? Yes. Hey, we're not going to spin because it's Exodus XL. We try to have some like different elements, a lot of back and forth time. Race, you are definitely going to need a chair, man. Someone get my man Race a chair. All right, well, take that seat right next to Colin. Huh? Ethan can sit right there. Carson can sit back there. I don't know. Where's Carson at? There you go. Perfect seat. Hey, Race, who would have thought you'd been the one that broke the rulers of sitting on someone else's lap? Hey, so here's the thing. Because it's Exodus XL, we kind of we do a little more just, different elements and stuff and have a shorter teaching time, but we always kick off a series. We were supposed to have it last week, but you guys got a snow day last week, which was fine. So remember, Exodus XL is always normally the first Wednesday of the month, but we kind of didn't get started that way January because you were just getting back to school, and then you had a snow day, and then the first week of March, we're getting ready for a refuel weekend. So we'll do it again the first Wednesday in April, all right? But I do want to give you guys just give me like 10 minutes up here, boys. Thank you. Give me a few minutes just so you guys can kind of hear like what our series is going to be about. So we're talking about this idea of suffering. I want you to think about a time when you've ever been hurt, like where you got injured or something hurt so bad you just couldn't walk, like you dropped to your feet. Now, I debated it or not because it's a stupid story, it's a funny story, but no one knows this story other than like two people, so I'm going to do a little truth time with you guys, okay? So if I say truth time, it means I'm about to reveal something. It's personal. No one else knows this other than two guys. Nope, this is the first time she's going to hear about it, and she'll be so proud at the end of this story, I'm sure. Now, here's the deal. So when I was sophomore, I was in a new church. I went to this church in Raytown. It was this new student ministry that I was a part of. I didn't know a lot of people, but I finally, like a few of the people that went there was like, you got to go to our summer camp. You got to be a part of it. And so I decided, okay, I'll try this camp out. I had two of my friends that I knew pretty well. They decided to come with me. And I kind of had, I knew the people at church, but I didn't, know them, right? So I'm going into my sophomore year. It's a new group. It's a ton of people. It's a big student ministry like this. And I'm kind of like, maybe there's something to all this church thing. I'll check it out. So we go on this trip, and we're going on a bus ride to Colorado. Now, it's like a 9-hour bus ride, okay? And so we stop for food, and they stop at this Mexican restaurant. Now, we're just eating all this food up. We order like nachos and all this queso and chips and salsa. And I don't know if it's a girl thing or not. I don't think it is. But guys are always like, I can eat more. I'll eat more than you do. And we just try to out-eat. Do girls do that? Do girls try? They do? No? So, some of you are yes. I don't know the rules for you guys, but all I know is me. Hold on. Shh. You can talk about those stories later. All I know is me and my buddies were we're just eating everything. And for some reason in my 15-year-old guy brain, I was just like, oh, these people at this church are going to see how much I eat and be very much impressed with me. Because that was like this, men understand, all right? So we're eating. It was fine, and I'm kind of getting to know people. Now, here's the thing I did not know at the time when I was 15 yet. I did not know at the time I was lactose intolerant, okay? Now, we eat all this food. We get on the bus, and has anybody ever, you've been to Colorado or mountain areas, high elevation? Here's the thing. When you travel to higher elevation anyway, your stomach always gets a little kind of messed up at first when you first kind of travel in there because the elevation does a little something. You get all these air bubbles, all right? And it just kind of does a little something to you anyway. Now, I'm on a bus trip with a bunch of people that I barely know, and I want to get to be friends with them. I ate all this Mexican food, all this queso, and I'm on this 9-hour bus trip. And it gets to the point where I'm like feeling it. Kind of, there's a little rumbling going on. I'm like, oh boy. Okay. We're okay. Just be cool. Just play it off. And you get a little squirmy, and I'm thinking, all right. And so it starts getting bad, though, to that point where maybe you've been here at school where you felt something coming on, and you're like, you just start kind of squirming. Anybody you kind of like curl up? Has anybody ever done this where you're just like, just keep it in? And I'm sitting here because I was there's an aisle here, and my friend Steve is here, and I'm sitting next to this girl over here named, no. This girl named Heather, and there's some other people, but I was just because I wanted to sit next to my friend Steve, and I don't really know her that well, and I'm just like, and she's like, are you okay? That's cool, girl, it's fine. And I'm just like squirming, and I'm trying to but it's hurting. Now, it's we left at nighttime, so we ate dinner because the whole point was sleep all the way to Colorado and then wake up in the morning and be at camp. Everybody's asleep, but I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna die. But here's the thing, when you are the new kid and you're in high school and you're sitting next to some girls and other people that you barely know, the last thing you want to do is anybody oh, yeah, we know Rob, he's the new kid. He's the stinky one. And my thought was there's a toilet on the bus. There's a charter bus, right? But all I knew when my first thought was I could use the bathroom. But what happened earlier was there was a junior named Mario, and he went and used that bathroom. Here's the deal with toilets on buses. One, they might not flush. Two, whatever you do in there just goes throughout the whole bus. And so when Mario came out of there, and he was friends with everybody. And I just remember all the people Mario! And they're throwing stuff at him. And they wouldn't let him back in his seat. They're no, go sit back in your stench. And so Mario's back there sitting back by the toilet. I'm thinking, okay, I can't do that. Mario will get away with it. He's friends with everybody. He knows all these people. I can't be the one that's oh, the new kid stinks. They won't even know my name. And so I'm just so embarrassed. And I'm I can't let anything out. I cannot let anything out. By 8 hours in, my stomach's about to explode. I'm I'm going to die. I've been up all night. My friends are sleeping, and I'm in pain, just dying right now. We get to that camp, and I'm telling you, by the time we get to camp, they get our luggage out, and I stand up, and I'm I can't even stand up. It hurts so bad. I can't walk. The gas cramps and whatever was taking place, the death in my belly, I am dying. And I'm just okay, get to my suitcase, get my stuff, and you got to walk up this hill to get to these cabins where we're at. And I'm just dragging my stuff, getting there. I get to our cabin where I'm with my friends, and I just collapse. And I'm oh, God, I'm grabbing on my bunk bed because I don't know what to do now. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. And my friends are what are you doing? I'm dude, I have to fart so bad, but I held it in so long that I can't even do that now. I think my stomach's going to explode. And they did what every good guy friend does in that matter. They just start laughing at me. And they're what is wrong with you? I'm oh, dude, I don't know what to do. And they're we got it. And so there's these two twins. Both of these guys, they were both 6'4" by the 6th grade. These guys were giants, and they're both my best friends. And they're we got you. And so they grab my legs where I'm on the floor. I'm not going to act this part out. And they start pumping me like a water pump with my legs. And I'm it's working. And all I know is for the next hour was the greatest release of my life. But for an hour I spent in cabin. I could not walk. It hurt so bad. And that was one of the greatest pains that I've ever felt that only Steve and Jeff only knew about in my life until now. So you're all welcome. I share that with you all. Now, here's the thing. You all, at some point, may experience some sort of pain in your life, some sort of injury, some sort of hurt. Something that knocked you down to where you didn't want to get up. Now, this is not what we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. We're not going to be talking about sports injuries and gas issues, all right? What we are going to be talking about is this idea that although you may have felt something like that physically at some point, you got the wind knocked out of you, something, you've also may have felt like something like that's taken place either just emotionally, you've been hurt, something has knocked you down. You've had those days, and I don't want like a bunch of side conversations real quick because we're just going to kind of give a preview of what we're talking about. But everybody in here has or will have those days where you come home and you're just done. You're done with the day. You want to get in bed, you want to go to the basement, you want to play video games, you want to turn on Netflix or whatever, and you're just like, I'm knocked out. I don't want to even get up. I can't even stand up. I'm done. I'm done with this. And you just feel emotionally broken or hurt to where you just want to collapse. And this is the idea of what we're talking about now. For many of you, girls, for many of you, it may come in different forms, all right? It may be, and these are all real things. It may have been something that happened at school with friends, and you felt like you were the outsider. You felt like you got left out, or maybe friends turned their backs on you, and it hit you like out of nowhere, and you're like, what? I thought those were my friends, and you just felt knocked down. It may be something that's going on at home. It may be some stuff dealing with parents. It may be stuff that your parents are dealing with that you happen to get hurt by because of decisions that they are making. It may be stuff. It happens in breakups with those relationships with boyfriends or girlfriends. These things hurt. It's not something just to toss out and be like, oh, it's just teenage stuff. No, these are real things that hurt, that break hearts. And so what we're going to be looking at is the fact that everyone in here either has or will have moments of suffering. If we're honest, we will all deal with some sort of pain in our life. And so over the next few weeks, what we're going to be doing is doing this series of what do we do to fight with that? Do we just accept being knocked down and be like, well, this is who I am. I'm just this broken person, or this is who I am and no one wants me around, or this is what's taking place. Do we allow our pain and our suffering to define who we are, or do we have something to look to? And so what I believe and what I know to be true is what Christ has said is, hey, no matter what you are going through, I am there, and there will be a way out of this. I want to look at, and this is going to be our verse for the next few weeks as we look at this, and so I'm going to kind of throw it out to you now, get it in your mind, and then we're going to kind of move on, and we're going to wrap up here shortly. In Romans chapter 8, Paul writes to this church and says, hey, there's lots of stuff that's going to be hitting you. You are going to be hurt by this stuff. But he tells them and he reminds them in Romans chapter 8, and then we're going to look at verse 35 and verse 37 there. He reminds them and he says, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall trouble or suffering or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? He's just saying, can any of this hardships, any of this pain, any of these struggles keep us from Christ? He goes on to verse 37, he says, no, all things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. And I think that is such a huge reminder, students, that you will go through things, but it does not define who you are. And that is what this series is going to be about. Will, if you put up that next slide, because I changed it from mine. But I want you just to think about this idea that when we feel abandoned, that does not define who you are. When we feel abandoned, you're not alone with Christ. When we feel like we are unloved or unlovable, we need to remember what Scripture says, that He loves us. When we feel betrayed, we need to remember that He never leaves us. When we feel that sadness, we need to remember that He is our joy. When we feel confused, we need to remember that Jesus said, you can come to me for that wisdom. When we feel like we have been lost or we've been beaten, we need to remember that you are more than a conqueror when it comes to Christ Jesus. That it is Him that gets the. A lot of people get knocked down. A lot of people get hit, and they say, well, this is who I am. I've seen it where people go through hard relationships, and they end up and they say, well, that's just who I am. No one cares about me. And they allow that brokenness to define them. Where a parent burns out on them and they just decide, well, that's who I am unlovable. Where their friends turn their backs on them and say, see, no one wants me around. I am betrayed. I am abandoned. Or whatever it is, maybe it's sins or something that you keep repeating that sin. You're like, I can't beat those things. That's just who I am. And Jesus reminds them, no, you are more than a conqueror when you look to me. See, everybody gets knocked down, but it's what you look to get back up that makes all the difference in the world. And so I want us to remember over the next few weeks, what we're going to be talking about is whatever knocks us down today does not define us for who we are tomorrow when it comes to Jesus. And this is this idea that we're going to be talking about. I think it is something that every person in this room, whether you're a student, whether you're an adult, we all will go through this. And it's a huge reminder for everybody. We can tend, if we're not careful, we can tend to think, well, I'm a Christian, and so I have my magical Jesus force field around me, and nothing bad will happen to me because I became a Christian, so I'm going to find the perfect guy and girl, and we're going to be perfect all together, and now I'm a Christian, and everything, no one will fight or argue, and it's all going to be wonderful. Oh, there's rain. Don't worry. It'll just flow right over my Jesus force field, and there's rainbows, and everything's perfect. It's not that way. In fact, Jesus said, that is not the life. That is not like, so many people are like, well, I became a Christian and bad stuff still happened to me. Jesus didn't say that it was always going to be easy. The world is still the world. There's still junk out there. And he reminded the disciples this. In John 16, verse 33, he said, I've told you these things so that you may have peace, so that you may have truth, so that you may know that through these things you have something more. He said, in this world you will have trouble. You will have suffering, but take heart because I have overcome the world. Jesus is they don't really know what that means yet. They don't know what Jesus is about to do is about to change the course of history. They don't know that he is eventually going to be arrested and put on a cross and die for our sins. They don't know that he is going to rise again from that tomb and baffle the entire Roman Empire. They don't know that he's about to pay the price for our forgiveness and change everything, but he knows it. And he says, I've overcome this world. I have overcome life. I have overcome death. I have overcome your sin problem. No matter what you face when you are with me, you can overcome it. You will get through it when our focus is on Christ. And that is what I love. I think this is an amazing series, students. If you're new here tonight, you're going to get some more chance to beat each other up here in a minute. But I hope you look at this and go, man, that's real, and I want to hear more about it. Maybe you got questions about it. Maybe you are in the middle of that stuff right now, where your life right now, you feel like you've just been getting pummeled against the ropes and you've collapsed. Maybe you need to hear, what do I do to get up? What do I do to move on? This is what that series is going to be about. So I'm going to encourage you, come back, be a part, all right? We are going to have fun. We're going to have an amazing time, but we're also going to look at truth and what Jesus says about that. You are not lost and you are not fallen in whatever's going on in your life. Christ is there, and that's a promise we can hold on to, okay? So I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to tell you guys how the rest of the night's going to go on. God, Lord, I thank you so much for this evening. I thank you for our students. I thank you just the ability to have fun, just to have a good time as we are just talking about this idea of fighting against our suffering and how you fight the battles for us, God. And just using this night as like just a fun illustration of fights and battling. But beyond that junk, we just know that you are the one that helps us to victory, God. And I pray for these students. I pray if there's anyone here tonight that feels like they are in the middle of that fight, and they may sit here and they may smile, and no one else may even know what's going on. Their friends might not know when they go home. They don't know which parent's even going to be there tonight. When they go home, they don't know if it's going to be a happy home or it's going to be a hurt home. Maybe people around them don't know the suffering or struggles they're going through when it comes to friends or boys or girls or any other junk that's going on in their life. But God, you know. And I pray that whatever sufferings and struggles, that they know they can look to you. And even if we're not going through that right now, God, this is a good time to learn where we can look to when we get knocked down. So, Lord, thank you for your truth. Thank you for a great night for these students, for this church, Lord. Amen. All right, hey, so here's what we got. We got more time. there's a ton more nachos, so please eat some nachos up. If you can, when we get up, as long as you're not lactose intolerant, or do, I don't care. It's your day tomorrow. So what I want you guys to do is, when you get up here in a second, stack your chairs in the back. If you want to fight your friends, we're going to air these back up. You need to pair off, and we will just start. We will be over here letting you go, so just get ready over there. Have a great night. Come back next Wednesday, everybody.